invested in that world.
So I've had the opportunity to do the FATS training and also Milo, and both of them had different gear. And so I want you
Yeah.
to talk about a little bit of like what gear you use specifically for your version of training. And also, I want to ask you the question: is so when I did it, it was in a civilian police academy for both our police department and the sheriff's department. So when you run this, do you have civilian based scenarios, or is it still kind of based law enforcement style?
Great question, Andy. So we are partnered. We purchased a simulator from a company called TI Training. They're based out of Golden, Colorado, an exceptional training company. We have over 250 scenarios in our simulator loaded right now. And by the way, our simulator is completely mobile. So we can put this simulator up. All I require to bring our simulator to you, wherever that shall be, is all I need is a 20-foot minimum, 20-foot by 20-foot room. I'll call it projector dark, so presentation dark, and requires electricity. That's it. So I can fly with my simulator. It comes in a big SKB case. So TI Training and TI Outdoors is the manufacturer of our simulator. So whether it's Fats or Milo, these are different companies. What I love about TI, and I'll just dote on them for a minute, is the fact that they have seen the light on civilian training. I love teaching law enforcement. We have 18 curricula that are certified by the state of Arizona, AZ Post, Arizona Peace Officer Standards and Training, and including our use of force simulation. So we actually have this course certified for law enforcement. And obviously, when I teach law enforcement through our simulator, we talk about Graham v. Connor, Tennessee v. Gardner. We talk a lot about that case law, which is our bread and butter. But as we well know, and I love my law enforcement, but they want Cadillac services for Honda Civic prices. The civilian side of the game is, most of our civilians and our citizens typically encounter a simulator like we're talking about in the Citizens Academy. And the purpose of that Citizens Academy in the simulator is to enlighten the citizen on how difficult these decisions are, these life or death decisions, right? Graham v. Connor, for example, the essence of Graham v. Connor, officers must make split-second decisions based on rapidly evolving intense circumstances, in which they must base those decisions on the totality of said circumstances, in which hindsight's not 2020. That's U.S. Supreme Court case law. Where we lacking in the civilian world is we send our students into CCW classroom, which, like our CCW class, is a majority law and legal seminar, like where you can and can't carry, who can and can't shoot. We don't even have a shooting portion because we want to really focus on the law and legal, then digest it, and then come back for firearms training. Where we lack in the firearms world, and no disrespect, is the bridging the gap, right, between like our firearms training. Like I break down our gunfighter into three processes: the knowledge transfer, which is our concealed carry course, the actual marksmanship, right, learning how to line up the sights, or what I call creating a symbiotic relationship with a gunpowder activated hole poking device. That's what a firearm is, and then the decision making. And we rarely do that in our world. So that's where we bring law enforcement, literally technology that's typically law enforcement and military, and we bring into citizens. So we bring real world scenarios. At no point, none of our scenarios include a police car arriving on scene, and then we have to kind of mold it and say, well, you're not a cop. They are direct from the source, concealed carry scenarios. We've worked right now, like, again, working with the United States Concealed Carry Association, the USCCA. So I'm a certified instructor, but also a training counselor for the USCCA. So I certified my instructors through the USCCA. They actually have 8 scenarios right now they've created with TI that are straight civilian scenarios, not a single law enforcement. So we have on the order of the 250, I have on the order of about 120 that are just straight CCW, John Q. Public. And I don't, because like you said, Andy, like, in the past, we've had to try to create law enforcement scenarios and contextualize them into civilian. So I have about 120, give or take, right now, and they're constantly updating. That's the other good thing about TI is they're releasing more scenarios by the month on different CCW, like John Q. Public, responsibly armed citizen scenarios, instead of you're a police officer responding to an active shooter, and let's somehow contextualize it into a CCW. That doesn't happen with that, which I think is cool for TI.